heart math's done a ton of studies, but I've also studied there's a safety zone for each of us. And I call it basically your safe zone. And it is approximately like 2, 3 feet in front of you. And oddly enough, it's also an arm's distance away from you. And that distance is kind of your, right, that's your protected zone. You do not want people you don't know or like in that zone, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. And that is not a negative thing. That's just, this is my space and I choose who gets in. We
Mm.
have to have that choice. So martial arts is if you get into my space, and I have said no, because no is a physical, no is a boundary. It's a verbal boundary. And usually you'll use your body and your face and you will say, have it be a no. If someone crosses that, martial arts teaches us the physicality of what we can do, what we could choose to do.
Mm.
Heart math says that we have more, even bigger
Space.
array of energy around us. And so boundaries for us, it's not what you keep out, it's what you keep in.
Wait, boundaries is not what you keep out, it's what you keep in. Protecting your safety, your energy. What else?
So I say boundaries keep you safe, they keep you sane, they keep you sacred, and they keep you yourself.
So good. Yeah. And the power of no. And it's so interesting because we talked in your bio about people pleaser. We talk about this through positive intelligence, and people pleasing can be sabotaging or self sabotage talk, as my mother would say, make nice, just sweep it under the rug. But when we over commit to other people and saying yes all the time, then we're breaching our own boundaries. And no, it's a complete sentence. And then some alternatives. It's like, no, that doesn't work for me. No, not at this time. But when we can have alternatives to it, that it makes a big difference. So you shared that there's a couple of other phrases that you use. Can you run through some of those? Because I think that it's really important practical tools. I don't know about you, but when I first started saying no at first, I was like, ugh. But when I have new language, because people will say, well, don't do that. Don't say that anymore. But we have neural pathways that are like, well, that's a slippery slope. Here's my automatic responses. Let's give a couple of phrases that people can hold on to start now bringing that into their own vocabulary that they can start practicing. So what knows a full sentence? What are some of the other things?
Well, and let me give you a little basic brain tutelage on that as well. When we're in an adrenal situation, we're not going to think creatively. It's just impossible. The parts of our brain that are activated are not solution oriented and collaborative and strategic and in that way. So having something to fall back on, I call it having boundaries in your back pocket.
Okay.
And I have a whole list of them. But if you can just take one or two, and that's my back pocket boundary. And you use that for a while, and then it starts to morph into something else. You own it
Mm.
without anything. So here's what the brain does without a framework, without a pathway. The brain goes, I
Shocker.
don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to handle this. This is super awkward and uncomfortable. So giving it a way out, it's the same with self-defense. If I teach someone how to defend themselves, I give them, it's not like that. There's like 5 steps. It's like, here's one step, one next step. That's what you do first. And then you can start to process and think. So my favorites are, oh, that's not going to work for me. I'm not comfortable with that. Thanks for thinking of me. That's not something I'm going to be able to do. You can also go funny. Ooh, hard pass on that.
Depending on the personality, sure.
Absolutely. You can say, could we do it differently? Most people don't think of boundaries as an option. So Pam says, let's go grab this food. No, I'm gluten free and I'm sugar free. I can't eat anything there. I would say, I'd love to have dinner, love to see you. Could we do this instead? Would this work? That is actually a boundary. Most people don't think about that.
Mm.
There is the no, and sometimes people liken it to a wall. I like to think of it like I was talking about with our space. It's almost like a shower curtain. You open it, you close it, or it's like the bubble. You step out of the bubble, you close the bubble, and it's see-through because it's always fluid. Boundaries are fluid, and that's the difficulty people have is there's not this is one boundary. They're different based on the situation, based on your containment, your container, your comfort level. And so if it's someone you don't know very well, you might have a different boundary. And that might look like, no, I'm good, thanks. And with that hard face too. With someone you care about, it might be like, this is not a good time for me. Can we look at doing this later in the
Mm.
week? Offering a choice or an option is also a boundary. But people don't usually think, they always just think no.